How do you have less stress when dealing with problems? All of us have stress. So much in the world is stressful, like our everyday life, not even the really big stuff, but just every day, because it's that tension of what we want, what we expect, and what is our reality. And so is there a way to kind of just bring down the temperature of the stress or the level of it, of kind of moving through it a little easier? Because it's going to happen, but what are the things that we might be able to do that actually are helpful when we find ourselves getting a little stressed out? So for today, a little piece of wisdom from Proverbs 22:13. Proverbs, just this sense of these quick lines that are full of wisdom. A lazy person says, "There's a lion in the street. I'll be killed in the town square." So this proverb reminds me a little bit of the Chicken Little story, where Chicken Little, like an acorn falls on his head and he runs around. He's like, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. That sense of, first of all, not even taking the time to understand what's happening, blowing it out of proportion, and then acting like you're totally helpless in the moment. And so this whole thing about, all right, the lazy person says there's a lion in the street, I'll be killed in the town square. It's kind of helpful for us to think about the term lazy and to know that the synonyms that probably work well here are careless, derelict, lax, negligent, neglectful, right? So those are some helpful things. So a careless, negligent person says there's a lion in the street, I'll be killed in the town square. Stress because there's a lion in the square. Can't control the lion, but you can control the response. And so to automatically jump to, I'm going to be killed, of going, wait a minute, is that too big of the, are we moving too many steps forward? And it's like, what control do we have? How can I respond in such a way that doesn't have that kind of outcome? Right? Don't go into the town square then. Maybe go in the opposite direction. And it's hard though. And so we have to think about it. It's hard when we're in the middle of the stressful moment. It's hard when we feel that pressure just kind of coming at us from all sides. But to recognize, wait a minute, how is my response cultivating or adding to making the problem bigger, actually making my stress levels go up? Amelia Earhart, the adventurer and pilot, says, the difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity. The fears are paper tigers. You can do anything you decide to do. You can act to change and control your life, and the procedure, the process, is its own reward. So there, the proverb is trying to get us to understand what we can do, how we can respond, of going, wait a minute, I need to take a look at this and see I can have a response and I am not completely out of control. I may not be able to control the lion, but I can control my response to the lion. The philosopher William James says, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. And so when we find ourselves in those stressful moments, what thought will we choose over another? What will we choose to focus on? Will we choose to focus on how we can respond or how we can't respond? Because the proverb, that person's focused on everything that they can't control instead of what they can. So thinking through all of those moments, what would be most helpful? What question do you need to ask yourself when you feel those stress levels rising? Of what can you control? How can you control your response? And what thought do you need to choose over another? Pray with me. God of possibilities, so much of life is feeling that tension between our reality is often at odds with what we want or what we expect. Sometimes it's easy to throw up our hands or become lax in our responses because we wonder, what is the point? Give us the energy we need to respond. Give us the wisdom we need to respond. Give us the courage we need to respond so that we may know we are not helpless. Help us to not be apathetic to the things that bring us stress, and may we realize what we can control in our lives with greater clarity and focus. Amen.